You are once again witnessing an out-of-control trolley. Its brakes have stopped working. It is hurtling down the track at a lightning-fast speed, headed currently toward 5 people who are tied up at the end of the track. There is a split in the track, and at the split, on the right-hand track, there lies one person. Now, in this case, you are not the driver of the trolley. You are instead a bystander. You are a number of yards away observing this happening. I don't know what happened to the driver. Maybe the driver had a heart attack or is incapacitated or something. But you happen to be standing by a manual switch that you know, because of the sign that is right there by the switch, flips the track that the trolley is currently on. Right now, the switch is depressed, and what that means is that if the trolley continues toward the fork, it will shoot down the left-hand path and run over the 5. But if you flip that switch, the track will change and the trolley will be diverted onto the right-hand track and run over the 1 instead. But it will be because you flip that switch that the trolley runs over the 1. Now, 2 questions, just like before. First question, what would you do in this circumstance? You only have 2 options. Option 1 is do nothing, and option 2 is flip the switch. Second question, is it morally permissible to flip the switch? So even if you ended up saying, for example, I think I would do nothing and let this play out, if someone else were in your shoes and made the decision to flip the switch, would it be wrong for them to do that? Have they done something immoral? So the second question is option 2 morally permissible? Try to articulate your reasons why or why not. Here's a really common reaction that people have to the switch case. Yes, it is morally permissible to flip the switch. That may or may not coincide with what you say you would do in the circumstance, but most people look at this and they say, well, if the choice is between doing nothing and letting 5 die or flipping this switch and killing 1, then it's tragic, but I'm going to go with saving more lives, and unfortunately that means flipping the switch and killing 1. This is not a universal moral reaction. Some people think it would be wrong to flip the switch, but that is certainly a minority position. And we can say that broadly speaking, the intuitive view is that it's morally permissible to flip the switch. Yet another case for you to consider. You are once again witnessing an out-of-control trolley hurtling down the tracks toward 5 people. There is no split in the tracks, nor are you at a switch, nor are you the driver. Instead, this time, you're on a footbridge that is elevated up above the tracks. You're in between the trolley and the 5. That's where the footbridge is located. You're watching this happen. You're like, oh no, those 5 people are tied up on the tracks. What can I do? You look around and what you see is next to you a really big guy, a very heavy man, the fat man. The fat man is kind of leaning a little bit over, also watching in terror, looking at you like, can you believe what's about to happen? What should we do? You notice that the railing is a little bit rickety that he's leaning on. And you realize that if you give him a solid shove, he will tumble down onto the tracks. And you are very sure this is a big, big guy. He is big enough that the trolley will crash into him. It'll either derail or stop before it gets to the 5. But of course, in the process, you will thereby kill the fat man. Call this the footbridge case. Question 1, what do you do? Do you nothing? Do you do absolutely nothing and just let the trolley do its thing and run over the 5? I mean, you might call, 911, but of course they won't arrive in time to save the 5. Or option two, do you push the fat man off the footbridge, let him tumble down onto the tracks where he will be run over and killed in presumably quite a gruesome manner? Question two, is it morally permissible? So the vast majority of you are going to say, I would do option one. I'm not going to push this poor innocent man onto the tracks. But if somebody did something different and they decided to give this man a shove, would they be doing something morally wrong? So is option two in this case morally permissible or not? Now, interestingly, the vast majority of people who consider the footbridge case, and this is probably your reaction, don't just say, well, I wouldn't do it, but it would be fine if someone did. In fact, they react by saying, this option of pushing the man off of the footbridge is morally wrong. It is not permissible to take option two. And this sets us up with J.J. Thompson's revenge trolley problem, or the second trolley problem is what we'll call it. The first trolley problem was a puzzle about our different reactions between the surgeon case and the driver version of the trolley case. Here we have two more trolley cases, the switch and the footbridge, and we have a similar difference in our moral reactions. We say that flipping the switch and killing the one would be permissible, but pushing the fat man and killing him would absolutely not be permissible. The second trolley problem is the problem or the question of why is it permissible to flip the switch but not permissible to push the fat man. And again, the reason this is puzzling, or part of the reason this is puzzling, is that the numbers are exactly the same in the two cases. So in the switch case, your choice is between 5 deaths and 1 death. And we think, well, you should choose the 1 death. But in the footbridge case, that's no less true. Your choice is between 5 deaths and 1 death. And yet we say, no, it would be wrong to choose the 1 death. So why? What's the difference? Well, notice that part of the reason that the second trolley problem is even more troubling than the first one is that the killing, letting die distinction doesn't help or doesn't answer this question. Now, to see this, notice that your choice in the switch case is between really doing nothing, which it amounts to or just is letting 5 die, because the trolley is already on its way toward the 5, or your second option is to flip the switch, divert the trolley, and kill 1 person. The killing, letting die solution had said previously it's always worse to kill than it is to let 5 die. And yet here what we have is a case in which everybody, or nearly everyone, agrees it would be perfectly permissible to kill as opposed to let 5 die. And then when we look over at the footbridge case, we have precisely the same set of options. Option 1, the do nothing option, is let 5 die. Option 2, the push the fat man option, is kill 1. And so what we have is killing 1 is morally wrong in this case, even though the other option's letting 5 die. But killing 1 is morally permissible in the switch case, even though the other option's letting 5 die. So from the perspective of what's a killing and what's a letting die, the two cases are precisely the same. And yet we still have a different moral reaction. What that means is that the distinction between killing and letting die does not answer or does not explain our different intuitions about these two trolley cases, and so that distinction does not help with the second trolley problem, even if it may have helped with the first. Where are we going to go from here? Well, the place that we're going to go is to look at more general moral theories and ask whether these general moral theories or accounts of what makes actions right and wrong can possibly help us to solve the second trolley problem. That's certainly not the only thing a moral theory can do, but these are interesting and useful test cases for us to see whether or not competing moral theories have plausibility.